A few days ago, I posted a new video by Steve Boffman, who's a well-known critic of Ravi Zacharias, in which he outlines new allegations that Ravi Zacharias operated a spa during his life and he engaged in inappropriate sexual contact with women within the spa. Now, within that video, Boffman also references that he spoke to a well-respected Christian leader who had investigated these allegations. And he did not identify that leader because that person wished to remain anonymous. But that leader subsequently emailed me a couple days later on September 13th, and that leader identified himself to me. And in fact, I know that person, not personally, but I've known that individual. He is a respected Christian academic. I've known of him for about the last 25 years. He's a published author. I've got at least one of his books on my shelf. Had a stable academic post for many years. So a very credible source. And he wanted me to post a statement from him on his own investigation into these serious allegations. So I posted that the same day on Sunday, September 13th. And the response was, as you can imagine, from some Ravi Zacharias supporters was rather negative, bordering on vitriolic. So I posted it under this title, The Ravi Zacharias Sex Scandal, a New Personal Statement. So it is the full personal statement by this individual, which he requested I post without giving his name. So I know who the individual is, I vetted him, but it was posted anonymously. Now, what I want to do in this short video is consider some of the objections or comments that Ravi Zacharias supporters have posted on my blog. And then I'm going to offer a response to it and draw some conclusions. First, I'll respond to Kent Young. He says this: give your name, or no one will or should treat you as credible. If one of the leading Christian apologists in the world was a predator, a wolf in sheep's clothing, you have a moral obligation to bring it to light. You can't do that behind anonymity. Okay. So my first response to Kent is this person is bringing it to light. He's bringing out evidence that he has. He's made a public statement about it. The second thing is he says you can't do that behind anonymity. Well, in fact, he's not actually anonymous. I do know who the source is. He hasn't publicly disclosed his identity, but that doesn't mean that I haven't vetted him. He is indeed a credible source. What Kent Young is doing here is he is questioning, in fact, the very practice of journalism, because of course journalists regularly depend upon sources that they vet, but which remain anonymous sources in that their identity is not disclosed to the public, but they nonetheless provide evidence. Indeed, that was the basis for the entire takedown of Richard Nixon's government, was a source within the government who remained anonymous to people other than the investigative reporters. So there is nothing inappropriate or wrong or untoward about retaining your anonymity and still disclosing information. The second comment I want to consider comes from a gentleman named Albert Williams. Observations, he says: all humans sin. That includes RZ, those who accuse him, those who report this, and those who are reading this, etc., etc. Essentially, what Albert Williams is doing here is, I'm sorry to say, but this is a rhetorical technique. Now, you can say he doesn't intend it in that way, but the fact is that when there are serious moral, if not legal, allegations against a person, that is not the time that we talk about how we're all sinners, because what that is functionally doing is marginalizing the concerns about this individual by recontextualizing it as just a general manifestation of human sin. The topic here is not hamartiology or the general doctrine of human sin, that all human beings are fallen. Rather, the issue here is whether Ravi Zacharias, in fact, did engage in sexual conduct with women within his spa. That is the issue here. And so Albert Williams' comments here are simply deflecting from that main issue, which is the topic of discussion. Next, we'll consider a person named Remy Cooper, who says, if Ravi is guilty of what you and Steve are publicly accusing him of, should be, of course, but first of all, I haven't accused anybody of anything. I've simply offered my platform online as an opportunity for a witness, a person who's done an investigation, a Christian leader, to issue a public statement about that issue. What I want is for a proper investigation to be done into this and for light to be shed onto this issue. Anyway, so this issue goes on. Then it is fair to question anonymous letters and allegations. There is no evidence, simply hearsay. Okay, so here we have a misuse of the term hearsay. It's not hearsay when a journalist vets a source and then that source retains their anonymity when the journalist then publishes a story based upon the testimony of the source. What would be hearsay is if within a court of law, I shared something that another person said without that person being present to affirm or rebut my allegation or my claim, my testimony as to what they said. That would qualify as hearsay, but we're not in a court of law. This is not qualified hearsay. So Remy Cooper is simply misusing the term hearsay. Remy Cooper goes on to say, to accuse someone without evidence is reckless gossip blogging. Okay, so it's okay for Remy Cooper, assuming that is the real name of this individual, to accuse me of quote unquote gossip blogging simply because I reproduced, posted the serious, well-written, well-articulated allegations of a very credible witness who did an investigation into these allegations against Mr. Zacharias. That is, in fact, simply quite irresponsible behavior on the part of Remy. And then here's another one. This comes from Rebecca, who says that the person that is at the center of this post, who wrote this statement, is, an quote, an imaginary witness. In other words, Rebecca accuses me of completely fabricating the entire account. Apparently, she claims without evidence, and posting anonymously, by the way, because who knows who Rebecca is, she claims that I made it all up. Why did I make it up? Well, she goes on to explain. You are doing this just to get more followers because nobody you exist until you start writing rubbish about Ravi. Okay, so it is okay for her to slander me with unevidenced allegations that I actually made up this source. And for her to do that anonymously. And then at the end, ironically, she says, it's very easy to accuse a great man hiding behind your computers. So it's okay for her to accuse me hiding behind her computer, but it's not okay for me to post the allegations of a credible source against Ravi Zacharias and to do it publicly. Okay. I'm going to conclude my video now. I think that the behavior of, and I've got a lot of similar comments, acerbic, vitriolic comments on Twitter as well from Ravi Zacharias supporters. Of course, there are also other people who welcome this evidence, who want to consider it carefully. And what I think that these individuals who circle the wagons, as it were, and attack people who simply want to present important evidence of allegations against purporting to show the wrongdoing of a Christian leader, for them to shoot the person who's simply trying to bring that to light is a classic case of shooting the messenger. And it shows that you would rather have your own understanding of a person perpetuated than consider the evidence that may go against that person. And I'm going to conclude with Acts 17. In Acts 17, Paul travels to Thessalonica. He's not really welcome there, so he goes on to the synagogue in Berea, and he shares with them from the scriptures to show that Jesus was the Messiah, and the synagogue in Berea welcomes him. And what Paul does then is he commends the synagogue in Berea for testing all things and then holding on to that which is true, for keeping an open mind when Paul came and tested their assumptions about who the Messiah would be. They studied the scriptures to see if what he said was true. And what I would ask is for people who are great fans of Ravi Zacharias' ministry, along with everyone else, simply look at the evidence, weigh all the evidence that is available, that has been made available by people like Steve Boffman, by people like this individual, this Christian leader that has contacted me and issued his statement, and then look and see what Ravi Zacharias' own followers are saying to rebut this evidence, and then draw your own conclusions. But don't attack people that are simply want to make the truth known, because that does not serve the cause of Christ, and that is not a good Christian apologetic.